This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Welcome to Friday the 13th. Normally, we refer to this as an unlucky day, but remember, this is 2020, so this Friday the 13th will probably be the luckiest of the year. But it's not for Carlos Ghosn. He may have escaped from the police in Japan, but Nissan's former CEO can't escape the courts. Nissan is suing him for $95 million in damages. It accuses Ghosn of hiding compensation he wasn't supposed to get, of getting kickbacks from a car dealer in the Middle East, and temporarily putting some of his own personal financial losses on Nissan's books. Carlos Ghosn says Nissan plotted to get rid of him because it was afraid he was going to merge Nissan together with Renault. Sure looks like we're going to be reporting on this story for years to come. Indonesia wants to become the world's largest producer of electric vehicle batteries. In order to become an EV battery hub, the government is sending out a team next week to the US and Japan to try and lure new businesses to the country. According to Reuters, that includes a meeting with high-level Tesla executives. Indonesia, which has the world's largest nickel reserves, wants Tesla and other companies to invest in nickel processing as a way to cut costs. Elon Musk has said he is planning to offer a, quote, giant contract for a long period of time, so long as the nickel is mined in an environmentally safe way. The Indonesian minister leading the effort says the country could make the supply chain for batteries environmentally friendly in the next 7 to 8 years through powering smelters with renewable energy. By doing so, he says Indonesia could start selling green EV batteries to Europe by 2030. Today's cars feature more high-strength steel than in the past. That's great for cutting weight from a vehicle, but in an accident, it makes it more difficult for rescue workers to use the jaws of life. So to help rescue workers develop new extraction techniques, Volvo is dropping vehicles from a crane 30 meters or about 100 feet in the air to simulate an extremely violent crash. It may seem like overkill, but the automaker says the simulation can't be done in normal crash testing. Rescue workers typically train with vehicles from a scrapyard, but they're usually up to 2 decades old and not built like modern cars. Volvo is using new vehicles in its crash test to help rescuers stay up to date with extraction techniques. Volvo is putting together a report of its test and will make it available to rescue workers around the world for free.
What's the weather tomorrow?
High of 64.
Find me the closest coffee shop.
20 results found.
And a date for tonight.
Oh, you're good.
Introducing dynamic voice recognition in the all-new Hyundai Elantra.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
There's a fascinating development reported by Ward's Intelligence. You've heard of Skipfire, right? That's the technology from a company called Tula that provides dynamic cylinder deactivation, where, for example, a V8 can run on one cylinder when cruising at a steady speed. General Motors licensed that technology and markets it as dynamic fuel management. GM only runs its V8s down to 2 cylinders, but it claims it can boost fuel economy by more than 10%. Well, now Tula is applying the same concept to electric motors. They call it pulsed electric motor control, and it pulses energy to an electric motor to make it more efficient. Tula claims it can boost overall efficiency of a BEV by 2%, which could allow an automaker to remove $400 worth of batteries, or get more driving range, or reduce the size of the electric motor. You can get more info from Ward's Intelligence, but it is behind a paywall. Ford gave us more info about the electric version of its transit van. The E-Transit, as they call it, will be offered in 25 configurations in Europe and 8 in North America. That includes 3 roof heights, 3 lengths, and a chassis cab or cutaway version. It's powered by an electric motor that develops 266 horsepower, or 198 kilowatts, as well as 317 pound-feet of torque. Its 67 kilowatt-hour battery pack will deliver 126 miles of range with the low-roof version. It will come with a 2.4 kilowatt generator to provide electric power for tools at work sites. To help convince fleets to buy the new e-Transit, Ford will offer an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the EV powertrain. It says owners will have 40% lower maintenance costs over that time frame. European versions will be built in Autoline, Turkey, while North American versions will be made in Kansas City. When it goes on sale in late 2021, it will have a starting price of just under $45,000. On Autoline this week, the topic is electric pickup trucks. Warren Brown is an analyst who did a deep dive into how these trucks will sell, and he's not very optimistic, with one exception, Tesla's Cybertruck. Here's why he thinks the Cybertruck will outsell all the others.
I don't see Cybertruck fitting that mold in terms of a wild card. However, just like the original minivans, the demand for Cybertruck, given its price, assuming that Musk is accurate on his price, and he's done nothing but lower his price since he's gotten to the market. So you got to take a look at that avenue, right? Given the Cybertruck's price, it may generate volume, just like the minivan did, from outside the traditional segment. So my bandwidth on Cybertruck is very, very wide, and they're the highest volume entry in my forecast.
Of course, you can watch that entire show, and it's jam-packed with great info on electric pickups. Just look for it on our website or on our YouTube channel.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And by Hyundai.
Investing in future technologies requires huge sums of money being dedicated to those efforts. It's one of the reasons why we're seeing so many companies joining forces, and BMW CEO Oliver Zipse says he'd like to strengthen its bonds with Toyota. The two obviously share a sports car platform for the Supra and Z4, but also currently collaborate on fuel cell cars. Zipse would like to see those efforts continue beyond 2025. BMW is going to cut costs by slimming down its lineup, which will require a review of coupes, convertibles, and roadsters. So it's not surprising to see the German automaker want to continue its partnership with Toyota on sports cars. We know Ford is going after Jeep's off-road crown with the all-new Bronco and is looking for ways to set itself apart. One such area it focused on is off-road camping. So it designed in as much interior space as it could. With the front seats forward, the rear seats folded down, and the tailgate closed on a Bronco four-door, there's 6 feet 6 inches of space. An optional slide-out tailgate that comes out next year extends that by more than a foot. Ford even carved out an additional 10 inches of elbow room from the door area to increase the interior width to 3 feet 7 inches. And for the ultimate stargazing experience, the Bronco four-door is offered in a variety of removable tops. Well, I have to admit, I'm a sucker for vehicles with anything stuck, glued, painted, or etched all over their bodies. Doesn't matter if it's pennies, stickers, or tattooed on koi fish. So you can bet I was geeked over this classic VW Beetle that features almost 2.3 million glass beads laid into geometric patterns and depicting animals and crops. The vehicle pays homage to an indigenous group from Mexico. It took a team of 8 artists from the group over 9,000 hours to apply the beads by hand, sticking them on with resin. The work is impeccable, it's breathtaking, and I'm in awe. I'm sure I could spend hours looking at it in person. And when not on loan, the car is parked at a museum in Mexico City. And with that, we wrap up this week's worth of shows. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again on Monday.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.